I've been getting messages. I got one recently from one of the women who supports us on Patreon. And she said it's been really hard for her because she says she goes to the Catholic young adult groups and she meets these guys and they seem really solid. Maybe they start dating and then eventually it comes up, yeah, I still look at porn. I'm trying to get better, but I still look at porn, or I'm still addicted to masturbation. Relationship doesn't work out. She meets a good guy online Catholic dating website. Things look like they're going great. He's addicted to porn. And she's like, it's like every single good guy I meet, this is part of their story. Not from like 5 years ago. Like they're still really wrestling from this with this. And so to the woman who says, Jason, like seriously, all these good guys are looking at porn. What am I supposed to do? What would you recommend to a girl who's going through this situation where she's kind of trying to spiritually get her house in order and she's looking to start her own household one day, but it's like she can't seem to find a guy who's taken that vocational preparation as seriously as she is?
Well, that's another easy question. You're just filled with easy questions today, Jason. No problem.
Yeah.
A cinch. What I would recommend to that woman who is spiritually mature is that she has to make an assessment. If this man is in a place where he is truly putting those disordered things into order, you're not going to find necessarily, I tell women, nobody is going to be the perfect package. It's not like you order a good man of Amazon and he arrives at the door in a box. Everybody comes wounded, and maybe today more wounded than ever. You have to be sufficiently self-possessed to enter into any sacrament, especially marriage, any lifelong commitment. So like if you want to be a priest, if you want to be a religious, but you don't have self-possession, yeah, you got to work on that before you enter into the religious life and stuff like that. That's like basic. And so when somebody's dating, there's not necessarily like that clear entrance. Like it's not like, okay, now I'm becoming a Franciscan. I'm giving all my stuff away. It's like it's kind of still mixed. So people who have to be sufficiently self-aware that like I really do think that this guy is showing me sufficient evidence in his behavior and how he's growing, how he's learning, that he's on the right track. Because the reality is that really good people who are trying their absolute best still struggle with porn. Does it have them? There's a distinction between being addicted and you have a bad day, you fall into an old habit. Now, sin is sin. I'm not condoning sin, and all sexual sin is grave matter. When in doubt, just go to confession. Really, priests want to give mercy. This is the mercy that Jesus won for us on the cross. Yes, anytime you want to come to confession to me, or I can speak for all the C.F.Rs, just ask. Trust me. But that said, the struggle is real. And so for that young woman, I would say if he is really showing signs of being faithful, if he is really showing signs of being like available to people, and if he is really showing signs of being teachable, I mean, he really learns, then that means he's FAT, fat. Yes, you want to look for a fat man who is faithful, available, and teachable. Meaning, not that like you teach him like you would a dog, but he's a man who really has an active intellect and is learning and adapting that to his life, being available. There's something about porn and masturbation that makes you locked into yourself. And so a really good sign of somebody who is showing self-mastery is that they are present to another person. That you go to the old folks home and you're just listening to this old lady that you're visiting. You go to the homeless shelter and you just listen to the story of a homeless man that you just fed, you gave a meal to. Like look for those signs. That means that you guys aren't just going on a date, that you guys are actually doing acts of service, because that's a really good place to see who people really are. And faithful. Does his faith inspire you? Does he say something about the faith that like resonates and you're like, wow, this guy really loves Jesus. Those are the things that I would think are very helpful for a young woman to discern whether somebody is in a place to continue a relationship with, even if there's occasional struggle. I say occasional because if someone's addicted, they're not in a place to have a truly reciprocal relationship. Does that make sense? Am I using too big words here?
No, I love the point that you're making of how porn and lust in general closes a man in on himself. As you were talking, what was echoing in my head is that quote from it was C.S. Lewis on masturbation and porn, primarily talking about masturbation. But I pulled up the quote just as you were speaking. I'm like, man, listen to what he says here. He says, for me, the real evil of masturbation and porn would be that it takes an appetite which, in lawful use, leads the individual out of himself to complete and correct his own personality and that of another, and finally in children and even grandchildren, and turns it back, sends the man back into the prison of himself, there to keep a harem of imaginary brides. And this harem, once admitted, works against his ever getting out and really uniting with the real woman. For the harem is always accessible, always subservient, calls for no sacrifices or adjustment, and can be endowed with erotic and psychological attractions which no real woman could rival. Among those shadowy brides, he is always adored, always the perfect lover. No demand is made on his unselfishness, no mortification ever imposed on his vanity. After all, almost the main work of life is to come out of ourselves, out of the little dark prison which we are all born in. Masturbation is to be avoided as all things are to be avoided, which retard this process. The danger is that of coming to love the prison. And so, as you were speaking, I mean, that was just like zing, because that's what it does. It just kind of locks you in on yourself. And so, this guy, struggling with porn, like as he said, like, is he really trying to break out of that prison? Or is he just kind of making excuses to stay in it? Like, where he's making you kind of his mother, his messiah, that like, oh yeah, I'll go to mass if you want me to go to mass, and oh, okay, I'll go to confession if we go together on Saturday afternoons. But like, is he really going on retreats on his own? Is he really reading books? Like, are his setbacks happening at the same frequency? Or did it used to be once a week and now once every 6 months? Like, okay, what direction are we really going here? Or is it just one excuse after another for why he keeps wanting to wallow in these sins of the past? So, hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/Jason Evert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/Jason Evert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless.